they love him because and he's able to progress over the last few years with the kids through the school system. So, and he's built from his mind, and he's going to be a great dad someday. My daughter, I don't know if she's going to be a great mom. her temper is a little shorter than his.
Well, thank goodness he's going to be the dad, right?
So maybe they'll balance, as time goes on.
That's what they say usually.
But he decided that since he got that back a lot, that he was going to
Welcome.
get his master's.
Sure.
Sorry it took a little bit. Internet was, we were figuring that one out.
Rosemary on the bottom.
She doesn't come. She
Yeah, she's trying to stay away a little a bit, and she lives way up in Oakland.
Oh, she lives in Overcoat.
Yeah. And Josh
She's a
Hope is
member
here.
of Rotary?
Yes.
Is it not a Rotary and Overcoat?
Speaker,
Not Oakland.
I think that's it.
Where's
I retired also.
Say hi, Lori.
You're fine. You can only put so much in there, right?
I wanted to see if you guys just now.
You want to hear a funny story?
All right.
So it's a young couple that moved in.
You do like your mask though.
What's your dog over here? This is the cutest little. Russian going to spill Kool-Aid all over.
That's what Lori.
Brussels sprouts.
Hey, Rosemary, can you hear me?
I can.
Excellent.
4 months or something.
That was
How are
our
you?
test. I'm doing well. How about yourself?
We're good, thank you.
All right. I'm gonna grab
So there's truly 40 members of this club.
You go in the master bedroom, first night in the house, turn off the light.
Yeah.
Get started.
Previous owner of the home
We're out
had
there.
written a.
Hey, John.
Where are they?
Where she got one.
Are you kidding me?
It's
Oh, I got
strange.
this like this watercolor ceiling thing.
That's the part of my
Oh, wait, what can I think it's white here?
So
did the girl think that you had? I didn't ask. I don't think so. I think they both.
It's complicated.
Can you even imagine?
No, I can't imagine.
Especially after
Bobby
Bobby
Brent.
on.
I normally be here every day. But his wife,
Yeah.
Jamie, doesn't come.
Oh, that would be a major disappointment if she had really thought that he had plans. I mean, right?
And he doesn't want to bring anything home to her.
Yeah.
Wow, gosh. And that's
Took out.
he probably will be on there.
Jamie, that's why I haven't seen him
Yeah,
yet.
he's on there
School class by Zoom from
I
Sun.
mean, it's working.
Okay, so he's doing that.
than you, that's all.
He's an elder. He came when we joined the church. They were all separated. We said the 3 answers to the questions. Well, have you had some more organizational meetings for the big fundraiser? We can have enough folks. You're probably gonna tell us about that. in the meeting.
I'll tell you all about it.
Don't. We don't need to go there.
But I gotta write it down before I forget.
Some people are not coming out.
Okay.
Thanks, everybody.
There you go. I like that.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness. Well, people that I know that are normally pretty steady right now. They have one kid in college, one non, she's all over the place, the indecision, and I'm like, day life, I'm starting to get this. Even where you think work is a stability, it's like I can't think of working.
Got a neighbor who has 4 kids. 3 of them are out of college.
That we don't have that many people.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get a meeting with him on today, see if I can meet with him and see about reducing.
Yeah, 4 kids, 3 of them out of college. No, yeah, 3 of them out of college. One of those is employed, living away from home. The other 2 college graduates are at a home. And also the one going to college is at home.
It's a little bit much. Everybody was thinking it was gonna be less grocery bill, less.
You thought you were gonna downsize.
I know. We have friends that we met with the other night, and they're now buying a bigger house in Chimneys. Why? Why are they doing that?
September.
They expect everybody to know, and they're lucky enough that they have one daughter in Atlanta, she's gonna stay there and another daughter in Richmond. So it'll be great. But she was saying, this will be like the, you know, the gathering space when everybody comes. Yeah, and I want them to do that. But they're very excited. They're gonna have a master on the first floor, that's what they're planning.
That's good. Yeah. I'm happy they can do it.
Right.
I don't have to take care of it.
I think you slept 12 or 10 days.
Oh, he's gonna look for Georgia Tech.
Yeah, I mean, her fiance, married to a guy from postdoctoral, his PhD, does postdoctoral. Georgia Tech, but he's from France, so his visa's tied to him being a student and instructor there. I guess some other institution. Probably. And they can't go to France. She's a physician's assistant. There's no such thing. You know, she had, even she speaks fluent French now, even if she passed an exam. There is no exam to take.
But he's done everything for his visa except the interview with her.
Well, if
And
they get married, which I think they're planning to do, it is very hard.
they're so small, I've never seen Brussels sprouts that small. But
Wow.
I was thinking about one with a private company, he does electronic microscope and stuff. Really, they're Georgia Tech's gonna let him go away?
Is he just morning shifts?
They are. I have a feeling Georgia Tech is somewhat invested also. Yeah. So many people are working virtually now. Is there gonna be extra office space down here? I mean, how is it down here?
I think.
I know.
Yeah, I think they're gonna be, you know, my daughter lives in Chicago and she was at an office downtown. So she got let go. She was the head of marketing for a restaurant.
She got lucky.
Yeah, they kept her team to let her go. Yeah. And she's ultimately happy about it because she wanted to get out of the restaurant business. She started out when she went to the city after she got her associate's degree. She moved into downtown Chicago. And wanted to live downtown. Yeah, that's great. A little choicey on some of the apartments that she lived in, but
She was happy. She was just like,
yeah, didn't let her mom see the first two. Yeah, she worked hard. She was with them 12 years, and the last 5 years she was the director of marketing.
It's a long time.
Opened a restaurant in London, Atlanta, Mexico City.
wow.
So she got a lot of travel, but it was a lot of work. And it was a family business that family members got preferential treatment. You know, so she knew that her boss changed 3 times, different brothers in the family, but actually granddad held the purse strings. Anything that was spent went on his credit card. So she was just, so she got cozy with granddad and said, you know, there's things that have to be done. I need your permission, and I'm not gonna ask, I just need an amount that I can spend. So she just went for it, didn't ask anybody in between. Granddad said it's okay.
Is Granddad still around?
No.
That's why she's been let go.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah.
'Cause
She's there for a long time, so.
she's going to trade school. She wants to work with her hands.
What kind of trade?
She isn't sure yet. Chicago, what is it, Women in Trade, a foundation in Chicago He's doing a 12 or 16 week course, introduction course to the trades, where you spend 2 or 3 weeks looking at all the trades and going through the safety stuff. And then you pick one, and at the end, you get picked up as an apprentice.
Is this funded by the state or something?
It's probably funded by the city, plus all of the trades.
It's great. It's great.
Because up there, it would be the big unions that did.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of these programs.
Yeah.
One of the things they promised in 4 years, yeah, we're unionized. Promise you, when somebody shows up in one of their cars, they're certified to have these skills that you need. They're not learning that you're. That one client was, you can actually set up trailers. So right there.
I'll grab potatoes and scalloped potatoes are great. Even makes those. It's delicious.
Yeah, very good.
Everything's good, thanks.
You can tell when the cooks change over the years.
Of course.
Because usually if they get really good, they'll find a job somewhere else, paying more.
Yeah, that's true.
Our first one. Yeah, first one here.
Yeah, I guess our whole job this year is. She'll admit it, they'll be back up.
Jeremy would be good
And even the ones
for
that are
next year.
struggling, not able to.
They're probably, the managers and the owners are probably doing it.
So Jamie,
Yeah,
why
we-
One of our favorite stores is up down the store. Kitty Hawk.
I'm so sad.
So there's nothing really to stay open there.
The Kitty Hawk?
Yeah. They're gonna keep it from Double Hills.
I've never been in it.
Nags Head.
They're on the line, you know, during tourist season, in the morning, there's always.
Yeah.
And they go in, so they're keeping it.
Yeah.
Right behind.
That is one.
Kill Double Hills and Nags Head.
I tried to franchise it, there was one or two of them in Richmond.
Yeah, there's one in Virginia Beach.
One of them in Richmond, it was near us.
Got a high-tech blocking unit there, Kearns.
What's he got?
He just put a Post-it stamp.
Post a note over it.
Mhm.
I've done that.
Well, you know, they say people can hack into your computer and turn on the camera.
Oh, sure.
And see what's going on. I know Google's probably doing that 24/7.
Yeah, they are.
Facebook's probably right behind them. They're probably fighting for access to the camera.
Yeah, I was watching a YouTube video on Tesla, and they have a challenge every year for hackers to break into their software,
Oh, yeah?
just to test their software. And the winners for this coming year, the prizes, the 3 prizes, all 3 of the top prizes get a free Tesla, plus the top prize.
$70,000 on my bill.
Yeah, plus the top one gets a $500,000 check.
Jimmy, you better quit your day job. Oh, you're, you could be working on.
I can't remember the password. What was it? I started making a list. And
Right.
my computer finds it. What's your story? Password list.
Well, the other day we went to Ramley Park. It was truly, I think, it's God's tradition. Just the warehouse area. We got in there, we sat down.
All right.
We had like really cute.
First Flight Rotary Club, please come to order.
It's on your phone.
You want to straighten this one out for me, Stan?
Yeah.
I mean.
You just kind of watch anybody trying to come on.
Yeah.
Welcome. Let's, if you will.
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Stan?
You bow your heads, please. Just take the time to remember, well, remember everybody that's a Rotarian and not at this meeting. Remember our members that aren't showing up, and if you can reach out to them and get them on Zoom, get them connected. Big thing about Rotary is the fellowship and the friendships that we build. So reach out to them, and then think about others that can come into Rotary and share the joy that Rotary brings, as well as what we bring to the rest of the world. Amen.
Wow. Thank you, thank you. So welcome, how are y'all?
Great.
I'll admit this,
Thanks.
I can't think about
I'm off because I'm so at the Zoom thing. I'm usually saying the Pledge of Allegiance, and then we usually have somebody else do it. But it doesn't really matter because we got it set. So how's everybody today?
it. Great.
How's everybody on Zoom? Gonna wave here as I look to you over there. All thumbs up, good. So I just, as a reminder, and Joe sent out the 50-50 raffle is somewhere between $500 and $100,000. So you just let you know, if you haven't gotten your tickets, it's go ahead and ask George or Lori. Just as a quick update, so I sent out a survey. Everybody, I'm sure, saw the survey. We are having we're having some thoughts about, well, do we have a delivery option for Oink and Rooster? As it turns out, I don't think we're going to have as many people to be able to do anything but a takeout. And so as it stands now, we're going to do takeout, drive-through only, probably limit the site to a certain number of people. So we have the artwork, the final should be coming any moment. As soon as we get that out, Lori and Rob and Moose and anybody else we can get to spread the word after we get our website up and ready to go. So my tentative timeline for Oink and Rooster is hopefully today, tomorrow, or Friday, get the final artwork. Middle of next week, get something put together as far as a website and a menu. I spoke with Jeanette. They sourced out our pork last year. They have offered to just give us a rough idea of what pricing they're seeing in the area based on what kind of menu we want. So we're going to see what they say, unless they take too long, because we're going to get this rolling next week either way. I have a rough menu and prices put together based on Pigman's and High Cotton. Both of those are successful businesses that have been here for umpteen years, so their pricing is going to be reasonable enough, and knowing what we've paid for things in the past, we're going to come out ahead. Our biggest challenge is going to be to sell it. So we got to sell. And as soon as I get everything set up and rolling, Lori's probably going to get in touch with the Beach Food Pantry. I'm going to get in touch with Bob Ebert, who is the band director, and we'll have a code for the band. Their deal this year is going to be to help sell. We'll have a code that they can put in, and they tell people to put in, and we can put those together and give them a portion of whatever they end up selling. So that's about all I have, with the exception of some point in a couple, 3 weeks, there's a good chance we're going to have a soft meeting of the Satellite Club at an undisclosed party location that's supposedly the best lot in the Outer Banks. You might even see a raccoon family. I don't know. But somewhere out to the west of us, we're going to have just a meet and greet. That club, again, is going to be a little different. It's going to be its own thing. So they'll figure that one out. Right, Jamie?
We're working on it.
So
Phase 2.5 helps a little bit.
Phase 2.5 helps a little bit. So, does anyone else have anything, any announcements? Anybody online? Hearing none. Jamie, would you do me a favor and pass out our happy pirate? And let's do some happy dollars.
Or you want to do $100?
Yes, I think we should do several.
Yeah, here. There's your dollar.
You do one.
What do I want? I don't have.
All right, any of you jokers happy today?
I want $2.
You want to?
And you can do about the business.
I'm happy that I'm at Rotary and that I get to not only talk with all of you guys, but I get to associate with another 2,000 or 3,000 Rotarians around the East Coast on a pretty much weekly basis. And it's awesome what people are trying to do and what they are doing, and the innovations that are coming to Rotary that you will be hearing of. One of them is a satellite club that Jamie is helping with. Rotary is really changing in the next 18 to 24 months, reaching out to people that we haven't reached out to before. It's a great time to be in Rotary.
You'll be happy?
You go first, go first.
I don't know, just ask.
That's good.
We'll take you first. Okay, I need a lot more money because I'll say several. I need 5.
Okay. Well, you're always happy
Is
on
that
my
how
money.
that works?
That makes it happier.
Yeah,
Well,
That's how that
that
works.
makes it joyful.
Honey, other things happen.
That's not all his money. Well,
Yeah.
first of all, next week on Friday night, Jim and I are leaving to head to New Zealand. And we
Awesome.
have 2 daughters there and the Rotary Club there. I think it's like Wakatipu or maybe it's Queenstown Rotary, I don't know what. But anyways, we'll be involved there as well.
Cool.
And we've already been involved over there. But the $5, wow, this is such a lot. We have been working together. Jim has helped me for years. I've been a physical therapist for 48 years, a long time. And I've had 2 specialty practices, and this last one is just public health from here to here on men and women. We see about 600 patients a month. Of course, COVID's done a few things, but the big thing is, I just sold it. And it is going to continue, not for what we had hoped.
Yeah.
Financially, COVID definitely took the reserves, but the most important thing as a physical therapist who's so committed to the business, the services are going to continue.
Yeah.
Yes.
When you go to New Zealand, and this is for everyone,
Oh, yeah.
Yes, we'll
Take the
take
flag
this.
with you.
Yes, they will be
and
glad to have
exchange
this.
one out.
I will bring one back. Thank you very much.
All right, hold money, it looks like you might be happy.
Happy John.
How nice. Anybody else throw money in?
I'm happy.
All right, if you're not sad, put $1 in.
Yeah.
There you go.
You don't have your Rotary pin, but
Yeah.
put $1. I would
You're sad.
love that. Thank you.
If you're sad, do it anyway.
You don't have your mask.
So, happy number 1 is the first hunting season of the year starts on Saturday. And for the first time in about 2 decades, I'm going dove hunting. And I'm really excited. And I'm really ready to eat some doves because I had a recipe. They are delicious.
You need about 100 to get a meal.
Yeah.
And the other one is this morning fishing.
Fishing.
I got my first ever Spanish mackerel.
Oh, wow.
Those are delicious.
He's for dinner.
Those are delicious.
I like you were that night. I don't know we're fishing this morning.
I woke up.
Somebody's got
I
to.
woke up at 2 o'clock in the morning and couldn't go to sleep, so I went fishing.
That's great.
He doesn't sleep.
Oh.
He's just so energetic, but
All right. Well, with that said, I am going to once again give the stage to Jamie to introduce our guests
This is why I don't
and
come anymore.
speakers, and then give me one moment, and I'm going to set it up so that your PowerPoint will run on Zoom.
There we
So
go.
introduce our speakers, and show me how to do that again.
You gotta have it on.
Do you have the PowerPoint running?
I don't. Do I need it?
Yeah, I have it up ready to do the show.
He's worked here, he worked as a career counselor.
Go away.
Career advisor, with the Inti work.
There you go. Go away.
The next side, Amber is based, what was it saying? Camden? No, here's everywhere, same county. Yeah, I live in Camden.
Okay. Did you hit share?
And I'm gonna get it messed up with the.
You don't have to do that.
Inti
Yeah,
work,
that's good.
Northeast
You-
Development
you'll-
Board, and Albemarle Commission, and
Okay,
Northeast
yeah.
Development Board.
Talking to him.
Northeast Workforce Development Board, but all of our funding and programs are funneled through NC Works careers.
All right, and I'm gonna stop talking and let her, like,
Explain.
explain the intricacies of all of that. And yes. Amber, there's a little clicker up there that hopefully.
We got your clicker and
Oh, he's following you. Oh, that.
telling
Good. Good job.
you, man.
Don't get me back.
Yeah, right
There's-
there.
To see all of
There's a
it.
clicker.
It's up there.
Yeah, there's your clicker and that one.
Says share screen.
Share screen, just hit it.
Yeah, hit it. And then I pick up the PowerPoint and put it in show
Does that
mode.
look? No, that's not it.
Here.
No. Wait,
Nice.
okay.
We're
I
doing,
clicked the wrong thing to share. That one.
okay, is it in the show mode? No. Go down here and
Oh,
click
yeah,
the
there we
screen.
go.
Click it one more time. There we go.
There it is. All right.
The clicker.
Clicker work.
How do you do this?
Yeah. I can do the Rotary Foundation. Got totally on the line.
Yes.
There we go.
There it is. All
Okay.
right. Hey, we look like we actually may even, kind of, sort of. know what we're doing.
You're doing great.
Anytime during the presentation, please feel free to stop me and ask questions. Don't wait till the end, because it's a bunch of slides and a bunch of different types of things that we do. So I'm the business engagement coordinator, so my focus is solely on helping businesses find good staff and keep good staff. So the goal of the center is to ensure North Carolina has a workforce to prepare to meet the needs of businesses now and in the future. Not only do we want to make sure that businesses have the workforce, we want to make sure that job seekers and people who live here stay here to work. We don't want to lose them to Virginia and any other outside counties. I cover 10 counties. Pretty much anywhere around here is I cover. So in this presentation, I've got several of the typical questions that we get asked. These are pictures of some of our centers. The one that's Elizabeth City and Chowan. We have one in Elizabeth City, one in Chowan, and one in Dare. What milepost are you at, Paige?
10.5,
Okay.
across from the little food line in the standby building.
So we have a standalone center in those three places, but we have a physical presence in each of the 10 counties. So we're in some of the community colleges, we're in some of the DSS buildings. We go to libraries in more rural areas like Terrell County to be there. Currituck, yeah. We have career professionals, which is Paige, on site to help job seekers with things like resumes, soft skills, just job applications if they need to go back to training in each of the center and the satellite locations. We also have space available when it's not COVID for if you maybe wanted to come to Elizabeth City to try to get some staff from Elizabeth City, you can use our building to conduct interviews, hold hiring events. We've been doing them in the parking lot lately for COVID. We also have a big mobile unit. If it's a big event, they'll bring a mobile unit out.
You might just aim it right here. Let me see if I spin this, if that'll help. Haven't done it. Maybe, who knows?
Yeah. Well, you turn it all the way around.
Maybe not. Maybe it's screwed up.
We don't understand.
No, you just turn the whole thing around. What are you trying to get to the thumb drive?
We're trying to just hit the next slide.
I can do it for you.
There we go. So this is the menu of our business services. This is just a brief overview. I'm going to go over them in each slide. We help with recruitment and screening of employees, pipeline development of employees, training and transition services. Let's see, is it going to go?
Just tell me when.
Okay, so first question that I hear all the time, I need to post open positions. This one's been super big this summer. We have an online portal. It's ncworks.gov. Any employer can register for an account. It doesn't cost you anything. It's a statewide job board. There's a search for candidate tool, which has been incredibly helpful right now when there's not a ton of job seekers looking for work. You can actually search for candidates depending on whatever position you're looking for and go to the candidate. You don't have to wait for the candidate to come to you. You can manage your applicants right through the system, or you can use it to direct it to whatever your company's hiring website is. It's pretty user-friendly, pretty simple, and it's free, unlike some of the other ones. What workforce incentives are available for new hires? So the on-the-job training grant is one of the grants that I manage. It's a salary reimbursement program for hiring and onboarding new employees. So each job has a specific skill set, and most likely the person you're going to hire doesn't have the skills that they need to start on day one and do what they need to do. So in this position, or in this contract, when you hire somebody in, we'll help reimburse up to 75% of their salary for up to 6 months while you train them. It's super easy to get started. It's like 2 pages you have to fill out, and then we do the rest of the work. We develop a training plan for them with the business's help, and then they're your employee. We come twice just to check in and make sure everything's okay, and as long as everything's going good, we reimburse you once a month with our salary.
Almost.
So what are you doing to improve soft skills of the workforce? That's probably the biggest, the thing I hear the most is the people applying for jobs right now do not have the soft skills that people used to have. They don't have the drive to get there on time. They don't have the communication skills that they used to. And that's where Paige comes in, and she works one-on-one with job seekers. We have a curriculum called the Working Smart curriculum, where we could actually come to your business and teach your employees soft skills. And I believe, Paige, you're certified, right, to teach? So you have a certified teacher right here in Dare County. She can come out and teach things like self-awareness, self-management, work ethics, communication skills. And this is a curriculum that was developed with Charlotte Workforce Development Board. So we've sent staff to be able to teach it here. What can we do to assess a person's common sense skills? That kind of goes along with the soft skills training. We have acquired a software called Aspiring Minds, and there's about 1,500. There's probably more. It's probably closer to 2,000 now. They just got bought out and added a bunch more assessments that you can add into your hiring process, and there's all sorts of assessments. Things like for construction, there's assessments where they could have to read a ruler or read a tape measure. Just basic, all the way on up to more like high level accounting functions, typing tests, pretty much anything you can think of. Between that 1,500 tests, we can set it up. And they're free, they're virtual. We send them right to their email to take, and you get the results as an employer when they're finished. What can you do to help us to retain and train employees? So the second grant that I manage is called the Incumbent Worker Grant, or the Employee Training Grant. It's a $10,000 per usage, up to $60,000 lifetime max, where we can help businesses train their employees whose skills have become incumbent. They need to, maybe the company has acquired new software that they need to train their employees on. And it's completely up to the business. We have no say in the trainer. You would pick the trainer. We've done them from everything. There's some examples up there, like RNs to BSN, Adobe certifications. I'm helping an HVAC company send their employees to get Generac certified. because apparently it's really hard and there's nobody in the counties to do it. They had to bring in people from Virginia. So we want to keep that money in North Carolina. And we've done them for all sorts of things. Alignment training in a car company, pretty much anything that's going to help better your staff, we can help with it.
Do most states have this?
Yes, it's federal funds. And now the names and the like the amounts may be different, even across North Carolina, that could be different because I think it's pretty much up to the local workforce board to figure out exactly. But for the most part, they're all there. You'd have to tap into, like I just helped a man in Virginia. He was actually fixing my refrigerator. So I helped him and they had everything. Even the wording was the same. So it's pretty similar.
In Virginia, it's Virginia Jobs.
Yeah.
In Florida, I know it's Jobs in Florida. So, but it's an NC, it's funded through through the Department of Commerce, which is a federal program.
Mm-hmm.
And so all that money is funneled federally to each state.
I never heard of it before.
Yeah.
Virginia.
It's there.
Good.
Just maybe a different name, but it's definitely there.
Good.
And the last thing we do, we have this website down at the bottom. I put booklets on each of the tables. All this information is in the booklets as well, but that's just a website you can access to get labor market information on your own. It's a whole portal where you can just go around and click around, search different industries, see what they're paying, counties. It's not quite as updated. That's something I also help businesses with. If you reached out to me and said, hey, I want labor market information for Dare County for manufacturing, I can pull that up for you a little bit deeper and a little bit more updated than what this can, but this is fun just to go in and kind of click around and see a good general idea. And I think that's it. And that's my information if you ever needed it. I got some business cards too I can give out towards the end. That way you don't have to try to keep up with that. But
That's cool.
do you have any questions about anything?
Yeah, how long has this been around?
Gosh.
It used to be the unemployment office.
Yeah.
So all of this was run through here in Dare County. Most people know Kenny Key. His name is associated with it.
Yeah, I think I did
However,
that.
about 5 years ago, they changed it from unemployment to employment office and changed the logo to NC Works. Meaning that we wanted to get away from doing that and then trying to find employment for people.
Yeah, so the offices have been around, but we don't do anything with unemployment anymore. It's all about getting people skills, finding them jobs, and helping businesses find their workforce.
That's great.
On that previous slide, you can go back.
Should be able to.
Yeah, what's the 1719? Is that the average hourly wage in private industry?
Yes, and I believe that's for the whole workforce. That's for the whole 10 counties, I believe is what I pulled for that.
The whole what?
The whole 10 county area.
Oh, okay.
Does that include like wait staff and everything?
That's just the general overall in North Carolina for our 10 counties. But I can pull more specific industries. Like, so for wait staff, we can pull that for the whole 10 counties or for just Dare County, Cook County, whatever your competitor that I think you want to be. And you can see that in the portal too. It's just not as up to date. I think it's got a little bit of a lag, more of a lag than the stuff I can pull internally.
How have the businesses on the Outer Banks cope with the lack of the foreign students coming in on those reasons?
It's been tough. Yeah, Jamie.
I've got some statistics.
Yeah, Jamie probably knows better than I
Well, the
do.
high school kids actually had to work this summer?
No, and I don't want to hijack your thing here, Amber, but
No, you
they
know
are
better than I
actually
do.
very related in terms of, because it is such a big part of the workforce. Actually, let me pull this up really quickly. I was actually on a call last week with Representative Murphy and some of the local businesses and chambers and stuff here. So last year we had 1,793 students in the Outer Banks. Anybody want to take a guess how many were here this year?
Less than 150.
176. Wow. That includes the ones that were here in the spring that got stalled out. Yeah. So they wouldn't have been here, but yeah. So the statistics, this was actually information from a survey that went out to all the employers this year. 98% of businesses reported having been negatively impacted by the absence of new and exchange visitors. 1 in 5 could not open fully for all the hours and days. And 93% said they couldn't meet peak staffing needs without their day one visitors.
Yeah, I can definitely say there was a time at the beginning of the summer where I was getting calls every day, multiple times a day, like we need staff. But I didn't have any staff to give them. I mean, the staff was tapped out up here.
Well, that is one thing about donuts. They were only open from 6:30, I think, till 1. And she said that they couldn't find people to work.
Yeah.
And so that's the reason they closed the one store up there in Kitty Hawk.
A lot of businesses reported higher turnover rates, and like they all talked about their own staff, you know, like us, the locals that are here, just the burnout. And then everyone, like a business owner, fellow Rotarian told me a couple weeks ago, she's like, Jamie, it's July and I'm September tired. My staff is September tired, you know, and it's just been that kind of summer. And Amber, you may be able to speak to some of this, you know, in terms of what the current unemployment rate is and how that really relates, but it's a weird year, because even if you wanted to go to work, with camps not in and schools not going and like daycare is closed, like a lot of people just didn't have, even if you had the desire to go to work, like it might, you know, everybody sort of blamed this like unemployment money that was coming in. It wasn't necessarily that. Like I think there was a lot of
that. I mean, not even just in Dare County, in the other counties when we're trying to help people find jobs, childcare was like the biggest place because kids weren't in school. And what did they do with their kids that were home and having to homeschool? How did they help them homeschool and work during the day? I mean, that's something that I face too. Thank God my son is going back next week. But you can't rely necessarily on your grandparents or to put them on video call because they don't know how to do that like, sixth grader.
I got a neighbor that has 3, I think the oldest is in the 1st grade. And she wants to get out of the house so bad. I mean, she's a professional. I think I can't remember what she is, but it's medically related.
So she could.
And she teaches and she does PRN work, several revenue streams, but basically she goes out of the house.
From a marketing standpoint, I was just gonna tell you guys, in the 26 years that I've worked in this industry, this is the very first year that every single client wanted a help wanted ad. Every single client that I have ever worked with. So that tells you, it wasn't, they didn't want to market their product or their service, they wanted help. So that's never happened. So
you can just drive up and down the beach and see the signs and usually in the summer, we don't come down here and talk to businesses. They don't have time to talk to us. But this year, definitely.
I think the grants that you talked about are really exactly for businesses.
Yeah.
I didn't know about them.
A lot of people don't. That's why I'm here to try to help get into these businesses and let them know.
Actually, there's a big.
Girl, I've talked to you about summer long.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, I know that the women too are making a mass exodus right now from the workforce, which is really terrible because somebody has to manage the kids. And so we've been hearing about the pods. I'm not even sure that everybody's certified teachers, but they might have 4 families together and the kids are all staying there with different people so they can get their video time and then at 2:30 their time. So it's interesting. But I read just recently that last year, 2019, and I can't remember the $1 billion figure, but it was the most that has ever been brought in. So it'll be real interesting into North Carolina for sales and for just people who are spending money here. It'll be real interesting to see what happens this year.
With the ERMs, they're definitely up.
Yeah.
The hotels not as much, but the rental management companies, huge, and they're still struggling for staff right now.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, struggling. Because you're right, it's way past the September burnout.
Yeah. I got a girl across the street, works at one of the managed Southern Shores, I think. And she said they're booked through the end of October completely. And then weekends and probably 80% through the end of the year.
If your kids are doing virtual, you can do that from the beach, so why not?
That's why it's gonna be a late,
If
very
you're
late
on-
season.
if you're
Make up
on
for the crack in spring.
Moose's,
Full years.
if you're on Moose's mailing list for his realty update, it's amazing. People are buying houses, putting them under contract without even seeing them.
Yeah, that's true.
Wow.
That is true.
And if you look at my taxes went down percentage wise.
I didn't know that.
The valuation on my house went up 40%. So a 15% cut in tax rate didn't do me squat. Except raise my taxes by 29%.
Well,
All of a sudden, my house is worth 37% more.
Well, that doesn't sound right.
That sounds like government.
well, our acquaintance, Bobby Caroline, who owns that, I said, how's it going for you, Bobby, this summer? He said, we are busier than ever. And I said, we're thinking that it's just gonna continue, that we're not really gonna have shortages and everything. People are gonna stay.
Yeah.
Seafood at home rather than somebody else do it. Go buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's having a huge
Amber,
year.
are you guys having any employees actually reach out to you, or at this point, is it just disproportionately employers reaching out for people?
Paige.
If employees reach out, I can usually get them a job within the day. So-
Yeah, she knows, that's her.
Well, and I'm really trying to tailor it to what their wheelhouse is already, and so I just bundle them into that same. Because there are people who, and it's funny, my demographic is 16 to 60 years of age. However, the largest population that I'm working with right now is in the 38 to 45-year-olds, and they are the wait staff that are looking for something else.
Yep.
And so, I mean, people are in line just to talk to me. It's a little ridiculous. This has never happened. But literally to try and get into school to go into another career. Usually I'll do 2 a month. In the past 10 days, I have put through almost 8.
I will say with the grants, the grants take about, the new hire grant on the job training takes about a week to get the paperwork started, depending on how fast we can get the person to turn in their information. They're not waiting.
Yeah.
They're hiring
Coming
people.
to me ready. And so the healthcare is the biggest field right now. And then everything that is a trade, computer integrated machinist, welding, HVAC, all of those things that affect Currituck and Dare, but specifically Dare because we are such a service industry. That's just the way it is here in Dare. So for that, I've been grateful. Definitely job security, but the people are serious about it and they're not playing around. They really want something different.
It's a really good time now too to switch careers because businesses need help so bad they're willing to take entry level and train people, like heating and air especially. I've gotten a lot of heating and air companies, like we will train them. They don't have to be certified. They can start as a helper. We need hands.
Yeah.
So if someone's looking to change careers, that's a good time because the jobs are there and they need people, so they're going to train them.
Right. And so as a heat and air entry person, you may earn $15 an hour. Well, if you come through our program, I'm going to pay 75% of that. Not to mention, I'll also send him to school at COA, Dare, or Elizabeth City and train them to get a certificate. So we're not only helping the business, but we also better the livelihood of the person, that the employee. So it's a win-win if you can make it work.
And do you know how many we have approved training programs
For me,
in general? It's a lot
I think for the actual caseload, or are you talking the program?
that we offer.
Oh, the different programs are over 50 some. Because I also deal with Pitt County, I deal with Martin Community College and Beaufort Tech, which is Little Washington. So for an example, I have some students in Currituck that wanted to go to ECU, couldn't get into ECU, instead they're at Pitt County. But I serve them because they're in Currituck.
Wow. Good for you.
It's awesome.
Are you seeing more college students that are possibly contacting you because you might have read in the paper, well, working between JMU just had 500 in some cases.
Yeah.
They're gonna send all those kids home.
Yes.
So, or Virginia Tech, if you get sick with COVID, you're staying, you're going to the infirmary, dorm, And if you're sicker than that, you'll go to the hospital. Everybody knows that. You're supposed to quarantine for 2 weeks before, you get your temperature taken, before you come in, have the COVID test, and then we'll just watch them. But there's a lot of flux. That's what's going on. And some of my friends have said, if I had children at the college level right now, I would say, come on home and get a job and do, and
Let's do this when it makes
also
sense.
do like the virtual classes, like 1 or 2 that do that. But I didn't really know that you would have it that way.
Yes.
How many businesses tap into you?
That's.
Is it many?
I deal with
Not enough.
people.
I don't think they know.
Not
How
enough.
do you? Because unemployment is very different than employment.
Yeah, not enough. A very small percentage compared to what businesses are actually out there.
Yeah, we need that help.
Yeah.
Spread the word.
Yeah.
Sounds great. Yeah, very good. Very nice.
Awesome. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
So I will say this, before I get to 50-50, I am gonna put one more happy dollar in. I'll just give it to Jeff. So, my phone that, may have been a replacement from a 16-foot fall during 2 deer seasons ago was not as good as the original. And I have entered the Apple world with an iPhone. So far, Jess has always had iPhones, and I've never had anything but an iPad 2, I think.
I've gotten more texts from you in the last week than like ever.
Well, yeah. So far I like it. It's,
4 times to get to an hour now.
no, mine was more like, I don't have to wait while the phone has to think. So, but now 2 phones ago was a flip phone, so I can't say anything. So 50-50. How many tickets did we get today?
Well, we got $40 worth.
$40.
So we're up there. Okay, so it's customary with our club, our guests get to choose. We do this a little bit differently. The first one that's gonna be drawn out is the 50-50 ticket, and the second one is gonna be surprise gift certificate. So if you wanna draw one, hold that one, that would be for the 50-50, and then actually draw a couple of those. Okay. A couple of those.
3.
And I'm gonna let you, let's do 3. These are my happy dollars.
Yeah.
If you wanna call out any one of those 3, and then we'll call yours out.
Okay. 893 is the prefix. 800.
800.
Got that one.
Huh?
All right.
Who's that? Right here?
There you go.
Oh, you weren't cheap, were you?
I wasn't cheap.
He's
I
the
just
first
bought
person through the door.
10.
What'd you get? What'd you get?
Mako.
Oh,
$10. Got a $10 back.
All right. 893-7792.
792.
792.
792.
That's it, you again.
Just make a can.
Now, if you get them all.
How many did you buy?
You gotta read out what you
I
got.
bought $10 worth. Jolly Roger booty butt. $10. Double my money.
It's good drinks. 821.
So that's probably mine.
Probably. The first 2 were yours.
19, 20, 21.
821.
Yeah.
There
Chip,
you
how
go.
many tickets did you buy?
Nine.
None.
Roosters.
So this one's for the pot. Well, a chance at the pot.
All right, you should hear.
And you have 2.
Oh, man.
That's Jay.
Woo, yes it
That's
is.
Jay.
Yes it
Is
is.
that you?
All right.
So everybody can watch the pot.
Oh, are you kidding? He got that.
Would you like to cut
That's
the napkin?
always the way it's happened. Right. Yeah, you should. I'm still gonna be. Ooh, look at that.
All right, let's see what we got here.
What are you looking for?
He's gotta pull an ace of spades.
That's what they do here. Drum roll.
Yes, we live again.
Love again?
Live again. He's showing everybody.
Pot's about 550 now, right?
5.
That was
Yeah,
very
5:30
good.
or so.
Well, I'm sure glad I sat at the winning table.
Yeah. Yeah.
Three of
Well,
the
shit,
4
I'll
tickets.
just put it out to y'all. Everybody can see.
The deal is you gotta come early. The early birds get the
I was here before you were.
All right, does anyone have any announcements? Does anybody who is on our Zoom have any announcements? All right,
I'll give you
No, he's just.
he just put tunes.
I'll give you a thought to consider.
Thought to consider.
We, are members, I don't know how we're gonna do this, probably end up paying double dues somehow, some way, over in Queenstown, New Zealand. And if this group would like to entertain the idea when flying is a little bit easier, we could do a Rotary exchange.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Okay.
Are you guys associate members of the
We don't.
All right, Jay, wrap it up.
Well, we don't know, you tell us what you think.
I'm not sure you can join.
You can't really join as a member, you can be associate member, so you can get their emails and participate.
Oh, yeah, they've already
Yeah.
said we're gonna, and we want to.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right,
That's a thought.
before we test the things we think, say, and do. First, is it true? Second, is it fair to all concerned? Third, will it build goodwill and better friendships? And fourth, will it be beneficial to all concerned? And let's adjourn with our motto, service above self. Rock and roll, guys. Thank y'all for joining on Zoom.
I'm not sure. if we have a Zoom for this
Yeah,
happening.
thank you. You can. Wonderful.
But we'll keep up.